Hello there, this is Nigerian Television Authority Channel 10 Lagos, and this is the Sunday show. What else would you rather be on Sunday? I'm slightly more excited today. I'll tell you why. Okay, Ene has this here.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Going well. Well, the Sunday show is here for you to make your Sunday memorable and splendid.
Absolutely. Now, today in the United Nations calendar is International Day for Rural Women. That's a day we remember, okay, women make up areas and women are discriminated against. So today, really, I'm going to have a lot of discussions with a lot of women. Talk about parenting, okay, talk about childbirth, then we'll also have somebody from Nollywood. He's going to come talk to us about directing. I've been interviewing actors, so now I'm going to interview a director, okay, so that you know what happens. It's a full package. And Frank Olize will say, do you know where your children are? So you better get your children around, because we're going to talk about how you will relate with them today. A whole lot of interesting things. So what you're going to do is sit back and enjoy today's edition of the program. I'm Chris Akwayando, welcoming you. Don't go away. We're here.
It's the Sunday show, and I am Ede Hassan. Good to be here. We'll be right back.
Lame to walk. What manner of man is this who makes the blind to see? What manner of man is this who gives me victory?
What manner of man is this who walked upon the sea? What manner of man is this who makes the lame to walk? What manner of man is this who makes the blind to see? What manner of man is this who gives me victory?
What manner of man is this who makes the barren woman fruitful? What manner of man is this, the defender of the widow? What manner of man is this, providing manna for his people? What manner of man is this who gives me victory?
What manner of man is this who walked upon the sea?
His name is Jesus.
What manner of man is this who makes the lame to
He can do what no man can do.
What manner of man is this who makes the blind to see?
Almighty
What
Father,
manner of man is this who gives me victory?
yeah. What manner of man is this who gives me hope for a new Nigeria? What manner of man is this? Rebrand.
Now, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 10 Lagos, station for excellence. Well, where else would you rather be actually on a Sunday afternoon than here on this channel? Okay, the day has started well. Actually, the sun is coming back, so it's getting hotter. So what do? Please, at night, don't expose yourself to the extent that you catch cold, because you may have the tendency to feel very hot, and then in the day and then you
night.
expose yourself at night, okay? And then don't drink very cold things. Rather, drink warm things. It helps in the cooling down effect. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Today, I have two women that I'm going to talk with today, and then a gentleman. But I'm going to start by telling you that my colleague here, I'm going to put her on the spot now.
Bring it on.
Yes, because I want to talk about motherhood. You see, it's not very easy for women, because today is International Day for Rural Women. We have decided to focus on women a little bit. Women are suffering and they are discriminated against. A woman gets pregnant, she gives birth. Of course, she marries you first, or she's your girlfriend or partner, whatever it is. And then you make her pregnant, and then you leave her. That's a problem, isn't it? Okay, now she gives birth to the child, and then you now say, "Oh, it's your child. Look, you know." And then she also contributes to the house. And at the same time, what do? You just sit down and cross your legs and watch TV. All right. So, Ene Hassan, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Please.
Okay, now tell me, you're a woman. How difficult is it actually in our society to run a home?
In this present time, I won't use the word difficult, but I would say it's quite tedious.
Okay.
Because the economy is not smiling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women now will have to, most women these days shoulder the responsibilities of the home. And it's not easy. You're catering for the home, and then you're looking after your children, and then you still have work to do. I'm talking from the angle of a working mom.
Okay.
So it's
You know,
really challenging. But
you know,
there are women who've been built by God to we are shock absorbers, no matter what.
So
It doesn't
you put have
reflect on
shocks.
us. Yeah. So we are good to go. We do it with love, we do it with empathy and all
Okay.
that.
You know, in the 80s of this song, every day things are getting worse. Every day things are getting worse. Time so bad. So now, every day things are getting worse. But what role does hope play in the management of the home? Having hope.
Having hope. Having hope makes you wake up and be positive that today is going to get better. Having hope makes it, even if you're under the sun, under the rain, you know that I'm doing it for my kids, I'm doing it for my home. So no matter how hot the sun is, you don't feel it. You have hope. You're doing it with empathy, you're doing it with love. Having hope means you're taking one day at a time and you're happy that everything will get better. Yeah.
Okay, but what about women that nag? Because in spite of everything, the man works. I'm not bothered that it's a patrilineal society. The man works, he tries as much as possible to provide for the family. So the woman, probably serving as a neck, is contributory to what goes on. Now, in some circumstances, okay, things might not work well. So the woman at a certain stage might bear the burden at that particular time. But that does not mean that the man doesn't want to help.
That's where.
So can we look at nagging and how you can dissuade women from nagging?
Yeah, that's where a lot of women get it wrong. If it's not good today, does not mean tomorrow won't be better. And for the fact that you're shouldering the responsibilities today does not make you the head of the home. A lot of women, because they are bringing one layer to the table, they feel they are above the men. No, that's where they all get it wrong.
So that's wrong.
It's wrong.
Now, this is something that's crept into our society that I'm also bothering about. Not that men don't pray. Men pray. Okay.
We are the prayer warriors.
I'm trying to understand the role that prayer has within stabilizing the home. This is trying time in our country. I don't want to talk about other people's country. In our country, this is a trying time. We're transiting. And then when you're transiting, you have a lot of stumbling blocks, stop gaps, times of sweating, times of cursing too. So this is a very serious time. How does God come in?
God comes in. God is everything. This is the time to pray. This is the time to really ask God for help. Because right now, we can't do anything without Him. We can't do anything without Him. And as women, if we put our homes first and our knees on the ground, there's nothing we ask God that He won't do. That's just it.
So you're advising women, Pray positively.
Pray positively. Whatever you're doing, do it with love. Respect your husbands and have hope that tomorrow will be better.
Okay, that's where we're gonna cut it. I thank Ene Hassan for actually coming in. While we're doing this, like we told you, today is International Day for All Women. We're talking about equality. Equality in the sense that you respect the woman. She doesn't necessarily have to stand at the same level with you. But then don't look down on her because it doesn't make sense. You spend more energy looking down on people than you look at them, sideways. That's very important. So respect the woman.
Yeah.
Okay, give her her rights. If she's, oh, by the way, how are your children?
Yeah, fine.
Well, I guess my viewers will pardon me. If I just ask you a little bit,
Okay.
how do you cope managing the children?
Managing the children, like I said, it's not easy with the job and all, but God is helping us.
God's helping us. Okay. So I'm going to leave Anna here now. I don't want to trouble her further. But this is still the Sunday show, and I do hope you enjoyed that little chit chat with Ene Hassan, welcoming her back after a couple of months. I'll be right back and go away. The Sunday show is still here.
I bless Nigeria to be faithful and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Amen.
Nigeria na my country, oh, na my country, oh. We white queen na the color, na the color. No matter the circumstances, if you join us, we go make a move. Got to walk for category, let the one learn again. And just walk for Calais, Nigeria, God. Ope titi akololo, ape baba. Ope titi akololo, ape baba. Ìrìn àjò kò lè tàbí ilé rárá. If we join us, we go make a move. Bàbá fọwọ́pọ̀, ó máa dára o. Ká fọwọ́pọ̀, ká gbórílédé wa lárugẹ. Ẹjẹ́ fọwọ́pọ̀, ká lè gbé Nàìjíríà ga.
Yíbo sọ́nà. Keji ya ina nụrụ ọkụ na-egbuzi n'ụwa niile. Si gị keji ya ina asọdị nnụnụ n'obodo a. Ka anyị jikọta n'aka n'omenụ ka Nigeria dị.
Okay.
Now, coping with the trying times, the Lagos Island recently had empathy for the vulnerable by distributing food items to them. So let's just see how it played out.
Economy, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in assumption of office this year, announced the removal of fuel subsidy. This, to some extent, brought about hardship experienced by Nigerians. In order to cushion the effect, President Tinubu gave palliative to each state in the federation, which now trickle down to every local government in the country. In the light, Lagos Island local government, under the leadership of Executive Chairman Honorable Prince Tijani Olusi, dignitaries from the local government, EXCO members, legislative arm, management and staff gave the most vulnerable in its environs palliative to ameliorate the effects.
Earlier, a month ago, we distributed foodstuffs to the elderly and we gave them financial support. So we'll try to make this foodstuff a quarterly event.
This is the way the people at the grassroots can feel the government, apart from road, hospital, and food.
The essence of governance is to impact on the community, to impact on the society.
Over 2,000 plus are going to benefit from this palliative today. So it's going to push in the effect of that oil, fuel subsidy removal.
There was medical checkup ranging from blood sugar level, free eye test, and irrespective of political affiliation or tribes, Beneficiaries could not hide their feelings, had this to say.
Very grateful, very appreciative of the President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for initiating this program. We are very grateful. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. It's very good for me. But I know I will eat with my family and everybody.
Items shared to beneficiaries include bags of rice, beans, groundnut oil, salt, gari, among other food stuff.
Sunday show on NTA Channel 10. Now, welcome back. That was the Lagos Island distributing palliative to the vulnerable in the society. You're still watching the Sunday show on NTA Channel 10 Lagos, Station for Excellence, this hot Sunday afternoon. Now, I want to ask the women, the men also shout, but how often do you shout at your children? How often do you curse them? How often do you pretend that you love them, but you keep cursing them? Now, I have a child development expert in the studio. She's a child development coach. And we'll be looking at the efforts at, making parents understand that they need to actually take it easy in handling the children so as to make them what we want them all to be, isn't it? Now, in said Joseph Udo, in Joseph Udo is here. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
I actually do like your smile. I don't know if I could borrow it at any time.
Oh, you're welcome to have it.
I'm welcome to have it.
Yeah.
Well, the viewers have heard, and there's a witness here in it that she wants me to have the smile, so I'm going to do that. Okay. All right. So
today we're looking at the Shout Free Family Revolution. Shout free. We are Africans. Is this achievable?
It is achievable. It is achievable, and it's a process that I've taken a lot of parents through. The thing is, when people don't actually know the implication of their actions, they keep up with acting that way. Or when you understand that your children will give back to you whatever you gave to them, you learn to apply caution, because looking at it from the angle, where there are people you won't talk to in a certain way, you are older than I am, and if you make mistakes, I won't look you in the eye and tell you certain things. So why do I want to talk to my child that way? So in the first place is a place where you have displaced, the value you have on the child, and that's why we do that. Because if you place value on your child, you'll be cautious on how you speak to your child, understanding that that child will come back to speak with you in that manner. So it's achievable.
Okay. The school system is supposed to be there to help these children, knowing full well that both the home and the school bring up the child. But we are not having that. So how does your experimentation come in to assist? Because it's complementary now.
That's in the school?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I reach out to schools. I take programs, I take trainings to schools, and a lot of schools have benefited from it. But the educational etiquette in itself, if a teacher is really trained, the teacher understands a child's language. So the teacher is able to explore that child's language. That's why you find out that when you take a child at age 1+ to school, or to crèche or wherever, and a good teacher is handling that child, the child is able to communicate with the teacher even better than the way the child communicates with the parents. And that's because the teachers have been trained to listen actively, which the parents don't do. Parents are in a hurry to give instructions and you just have to obey, and the children don't really have this understanding of the boundaries. You don't discuss boundaries with them. It's not clear to them. You just dish out instructions and you expect the child to abide by the rule. And then when the child falters, you punish the child. So from the home, the child sees correction in the light of punishment in most cases. But from the school, where the teacher is trained to do their job well, the child understands, correction and not punishment. So in most cases, parents who have started adjusting look out for schools that have same value. So it's important that when you're taking your child to a school, ensure that the school has the same value you have in your home, or you can influence the school to align with your value at home. And when we're talking about value, respect comes in, your spiritual value too, is something you should teach your child. So if your child is in that school where certain things are not done the way you do at home, you have to encourage the school to also follow suit so that there's a balance.
Now, with this present economic situation where everybody's stressed, want to meet targets and all, and then you come back and you just want to rest your head and the child is there seeking for attention, and sometimes how do you handle stressful situations that will avoid you not yelling? Because this yelling thing, it's really kind of
just like I said before, active listening is where it all starts from. When I say active listening, you listen to your child. And just like we are talking now, if you listen actively, you don't need to spend a year with me before you can understand my emotions, before you can tell, my perceptions about some things. So if you've been actively listening to your child, you'll be able to know where to come in to correct your child. So your child will also understand you emotionally. So when you come in, your child is not coming with so many expectations at the time. The child will give you time to rest before coming to discuss something with you lovingly. So that's why I always talk to parents. So you need to understand your child's love language, because the way they express it to you is the same way they expect you to express it to them. So if you have a child who is always cuddling, or a child who loves gifts, or a child who is great with words of affirmation, you need to understand that that's the best way to work with that child. So when you actively involve that child with their own love language, you find out that it makes things easier for you. So it's something that when you start working, it's just like you work in an environment or in an organization where you're already used to a boss who comes in grumpy, angry, and then all of a sudden, your boss is interested in finding out even personal things. Why are you feeling this way? Your boss is interested in your emotion. You'll ask yourself what has changed. It will actually bring some calm to you. So you also will start responding in that manner. So that's what happens with children.
Okay, but let me, I was interested in your school connection.
Okay.
What you're talking about trained teachers, you said that probably about 10 times. And I have a problem. There was a time when you had the teachers training colleges, colleges of education. So before you become a teacher, you will have to pass through
such
training, because they're inculcating you those values you were talking about. But now people just get jobs, Maybe you didn't get a job somewhere. You just ran into a school and then you become a teacher. Is that why we're having the kind of products we're getting?
Well, to an extent, yes. To an extent, yes. And that's why we take trainings to school to help, reform some of those things we don't have. all right? If you need something from me, if I don't have it, I can't give it to you. So you don't expect a teacher.
But you give me your smart.
Yes. So you don't expect a teacher who has not gone through the proper training, and the proper training doesn't even end with your training. You should be open to more trainings. You should be open to adjust, because there are children that every child is not the same. Children are unique. So you need to understand that and find find a way to work with each child, to meet that child's needs. So that's the reason we go to schools and help teach.
Okay, you go to schools. I don't know. We normally have clubs, okay, that would in schools that should help get these children into those clubs, and then using play and other skills, inculcate these values in them. That's why you have the Boy Scout, the Girls Guide and stuff, reproductive health clubs and all that. Is that the kind of system you want to introduce?
No, that's not my kind of system.
So can we get to know yours?
What I do is I take these trainings to teachers.
Okay.
I help teachers to see from my perspective so that they can, because the thing is, I worked in the school system for over 2 decades. So I've worked with several kinds of children from different homes, and I have been a homeschool teacher also, taking children from cradle to when they are in primary 2 before they join the proper school system, And when you're working with children and you're under surveillance, it's something that should be that should put you under tension. But in my case, I ended up having to be the friends with their parents, and up until now, there are parents who still call me up when they face some kind of challenges, and the journey started from working with their children. So I help other teachers, get this training. I just share my experience with them. And then for some other things I feel that children should know, like journaling, I actually go to the schools, and then the school would work a way out with the parents, and then I come in twice a week, teach the children personally. They allocate time for me. I teach them in their classrooms personally, so I get to interact with them, because it's key. I get to interact with them, and then I leave work for them to do. So most times they submit the work to me online.
So now, quickly, what is the benefit of Shout-Free Revolution?
It has so many benefits, so many. One of it is you're going to have a beautiful ending. You're going to have responsible adults, children who can take the right decision, because you didn't set them up for confusion. When you keep shouting on children, they get confused.
I think we might have to pause you here, because we'll be going to the network service for the network news highlights. And when we come back, we might have a few more minutes with her, and I know you're enjoying what she's talking about. So, Maya and Joseph, pause. We'll be right back.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. Don't go away.
On the show on NTA Channel 10.